Get Warrior Tough. Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman on 105.5 The Roar. And now back to Andrew and Dutch.
It's a WCCP dance party up in here. We got Little John going. What up, Dutch? You see me dancing back here, man? I'm chair dancing.
Oh, no.
You should just go check out the YouTube video just to see that. Or not. I know, right?
I'm going to go with not. I'm going to go with not.
Not. All right, so let me ask you this question, dude. What's going on with Kaepernick, man? Is this just the yips? Is it because Harbaugh left and was making him do stuff that he didn't like to do? It got him out of his comfort zone, and so he went back to his comfort zone. He was happy when Harbaugh left, or is it just the yips? What's going on with this guy, man?
I'm going to go with the same type of logic that I use with the with the Clemson Notre Dame monsoon game. We're attempting to draw conclusions from a game that involved buckets of water falling from the sky. Something that's not normal to the game, something that's not comfortable for everybody, something that's not a clean sheet where I can just sit it down, I can just start breaking out pieces and collecting evidence to find out what happened, because there's so many, like the crime scene is all messed up. There's water everywhere, right? So parallel that with the 49ers. You have Kaepernick, who lost a coach, front office people, teammates that retired abruptly, teammates that went to jail or they were arrested and are now off the team. So before the season started, the entire organization was in disarray. So then you're shocked that the quarterback, who's lost a bunch of teammates, lost a bunch of order, lost a bunch of leadership, the roster is stricken with who knows what, and we're surprised that the quarterback isn't doing well, and we're blaming the quarterback. Well, we knew this coming into the season. Shouldn't we be more trying to explain it if he was doing well?
Yeah, I just thought it is because everybody's like, Kaepernick's out, this, do or die, it's all, but, and I'm looking at, they got rid of a great coach and they got some dude from like the bench. No offense, but.
Well, but your point is we kind of should expect something like this. I mean, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be what it was before when you had this great coach who's now, by the way, doing great things up at Michigan.
Holy cow, dude! I mean, seriously, and that's all him, because he didn't even have like a whole recruiting. I mean, he was so late getting up there. He has what he had,
and he did this. He did similar things with the 49ers. So you expect losing someone like that. Somebody that was proven to be a force for their quarterback. He was proven to be a force for quarterbacks at Stanford. He was proven to be that guy. So now we're wondering why things are in disarray when he leaves. It's not about Kaepernick. It's about the entire system that's falling apart before our eyes. Right.
Okay, so now that's the ownership. Yeah, I saw the owner try to tweet out some free tickets, and everybody just told him to go get stuffed, basically. So you can't even give away tickets, man. That should be like a clue.
He said he left some on the dashboard of his car, and he came back, and there was twice as many on there.
Oh, man down. Right. All right, so yeah, I mean, and I'm not even a Harbaugh fan. I don't like the Harbaugh brothers personally. I just don't like I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that whole deal. But I gotta give him props, man. I mean, look what there is nothing else you could point to up there in Michigan right now. There's nothing else.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, he comes in, they're immediately good. I mean, they could, by the end of the year, they could be top. I mean, I would pick them over Ohio State based on what I've seen, unless Ohio State just completely gets out of their funk. We know they have a lot of talent.
Right.
But if I look at the way they've been playing and the way Michigan's been playing, then I got to pick Michigan going into that game. If I'm talking football, if I'm talking hype and I'm talking what's supposed to happen, I'm going to pick Ohio State. But if I'm talking about who's been playing better football this year so far in front of our eyes, I have to pick Michigan.
Yeah, they're just dominating everybody they go up against. I mean, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. It's like they got their mojo back after that App State loss finally.
Yeah, and they lost to a very good team early in the year. That's been proven. Utah's been playing good football.
Right, and we always say in college that you don't have a preseason, so really the first game is kind of like you're just trying to figure it out, right? I mean,
right. Yeah, and they lost to a very good football team. So Utah could be a better football team than them. There are people that are arguing that Utah should be the number 1 or number 2 team in the nation. So if you lose to those guys, we're not saying Michigan's the best football team in the nation. We're saying they're light years better than they have been recent past. He comes in. Now, let's say they're a top 10 program. Let's say they're top 5. They lost to Utah, but they can still be top 5 or top 10 because they lost to a team that people are arguing is number 1.
Dude, just that they're back in the conversation. Because the conversation last year was like, oh, here we go again. And, oh, let's get rid of Brady Hook. Oh, well, you know. I mean, now the conversation is, look at them. Look, oh, my goodness. You know, so they did that. That was a good hire.
It was a great hire. Yeah, you know, you can't do any better than what they've done so far. And me and you have to assume, whether we like it or not, that they're only going to get better.
Absolutely. Because he hadn't even built his team yet. He's just playing with what was left of the shambles of the program since 2007. That thing has been on a downward spiral. And
that machine, if it gets rolling, we don't have to tell anybody listening what sort of machine that is.
Yeah.
University of Michigan football, the Big Blue. I mean, it's crazy. I've been up there. I've seen that stadium. It's out of control. The brand is a national brand. I'm sure it's an international brand. But we don't, because academically they're a powerhouse. So it is about to go off the charts. Michigan is back.
Yeah. So Big Ten is coming back, right? I mean, they made a couple good hires. They got Urban Meyer in. They get Jim Harbaugh in. They made a couple good moves, right? I mean, do you think Big Ten's back?
I think they still need to make a couple more moves. I think they got who matters back.
Okay.
They got Michigan State, Ohio State. They got Northwestern. We don't know yet. They always have that period every few years where they'll stick their heads up out of the sand. Penn State is still coming back. They beat Indiana this week. So they need those names to do well, and all those names are pointing up.
Okay.
So that's good for the Big Ten. But I'm gonna slow down before I say that, because I need to see more.
Yeah, and then you got the Maryland anchor dragging the conference down.
Yeesh. Oh, thank goodness! It was dragging the ACC down, as if the ACC needed any help dragging itself down.
Yeah, so it was funny because I just mentioned an offhand comment to you the last couple of weeks about, did Maryland even know how to win, and then they got rid of their coach this past week.
They said, "We'll show you, Andrew. We know how to win. Let's fire this guy."
Yeah, I mean, he'd been there like 5 years.
Well, the way they play ball, I didn't like the arrogance and the way they left the ACC. I mean, they were really talking. Like, I even had my Big Ten friends up here saying how Maryland's going to be so much better because they're going to get that Big Ten money. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And I'm sitting there like, really? Do you really think that's going to happen? They're just going to get that Big Ten money and they're going to be good. Okay, well, we'll see about that. Now they're seeing about that.
They have an opportunity now. They could go get a coach that could turn it around, but then Maryland's got to get behind the program. I mean, they're more of a basketball school, aren't they? I mean, I'm not a Maryland huge guy, but
they are. But they've had a good basketball past in the 80s. They had some very solid teams that I can recall. So they have that potential. The DMV, Virginia, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. They have some good athletes in that area. They could pine. Also, they can reach down into North Carolina. They could even reach down into Pennsylvania. Over in Pennsylvania, being in Maryland, I mean, it's just a stone's throw away. So they have the region where they can get some recruits. They can go over into New Jersey. They have the capacity to do it, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. Lack of leadership, or they've had some good administrators over there in the past that I know personally, but I don't know what they're willing to sacrifice to be great in football.
Well, they need to give us a call at the office at 864-977-1443. We can help them out.
Yes, we sure could. It would take some overtime.
Yeah, it would take some overtime. We could help that program out.
Well, one of us need to learn how to play quarterback first. That's the first thing that's going to do, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, okay. Well, that ain't going to happen.
But I'm up to the challenge if you are.
Well, you're much younger than I am, and better looking, and more athletic. And I'm pretty sure you're smarter too.
I don't know about that one.
Shoot, man! What all the other ones you're on? I love it. I was like, all right, I got all the other ones, but okay. Dutch, man, you cracked me up. All right, what's going on with this Sarkisian guy, man, out at USC? He's just he's AWOL. What's going on? What's your inside take there, man?
You know what? I am I always am a little embarrassed when I feel like a situation was a total failure of leadership, because I consider myself a leader, and I consider anyone else who's a leader a peer. So I don't like to see my peers fail. And when Sark shows up at an event, clearly inebriated, clearly drunk, clearly not in complete control of his faculties, that's a problem. You're talking about a booster event, or any event where boosters are there, where potentially millions of dollars could be on the line, the reputation of your university. You're representing your student athletes. You're representing all the, not only athletes of the past, but the academic people of that school. And you show up at an event like that, I think it's already done. You have already deemed yourself or proven yourself in trouble. The moment you step out of the house and into that room in that condition, it's already an issue that should have been dealt with. And I felt like coming into a season where they were predicted to be in the playoff, I mean, everything was on the up. They didn't want to rock that boat. They didn't want to touch that guy, because this was their year. This is their time to come back. And I think they failed by not acting for his sake, the school's reputation's sake, in all parties involved, the student athletes. I think they failed to react, and I think it hurt everyone.
So now he's on like a leave of absence.
Yes.
And the OC, the offensive coordinator, is the interim coach.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure that's still an ongoing situation.
Ongoing, okay.
You know, I call it firing. Whatever you name. I don't think he's going to be back. I think when alcohol or drugs is involved, there's a sort of different process. You can't just throw them out. You got to offer them some treatment. You got to do some different things. You can't just throw them out with the garbage, or there's some kickback from the EEOC or different people.
Right, but he's not going to be back in that leadership position.
I wouldn't expect him to be back.
Which is a shame, because Sark, I mean, it was like a huge deal, wasn't it, when they got him?
Yes, it sure was.
Wow. Yeah, people have to come to themselves, right? Because he was like, no, I'm good now. There won't be any alcohol in the locker room. I won't drink again, and that's it.
Yep. And we knew he was too far gone to make those type of statements and make those type of decisions for himself. When you go that far, it's out of your hands.
Yeah, if you're showing up in a public, at a, like you said, a booster meeting or whatever, and you're not in control. It's sad, man. It's sad for everybody involved. It's sad for the kids. It's sad for the program, and it's sad for Sark and his family.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back after this break.
80% of all doctor visits are stress-related. 80% of tension headaches are caused by stress. Most heart attacks occur around 9 a.m. on Monday. Stress is a major factor of anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and aggression, not to mention insomnia. And an estimated 24 million Americans use drugs to cope with stress. Depressing, isn't it? You're meant to live a happy, fulfilled life, and it is possible. Andrew Wittman can show you the way out. The way to deal with stress, to achieve, to break through limitations, and have an internal identity that calms the storm. Whether it's work or home, financial or emotional, get the tools you need to cope with the obstacles life brings you and still have peace. Mental Training 1-on-1 will help you get what you want out of life. Visit GetWarriorTough.com to see testimonials from people just like you. Take control of stress. GetWarriorTough.com.